Good morning, everyone. My name is Mirabelle. I'm a professor of economics at Imperial College in London. I'm delighted to be here today. As I was walking around the Expo, something struck me that I'm sure many of you will have noticed. There's no lack of innovation in this sector. And yet, despite all this creativity, because wherever you look, there are new materials, new manufacturing approaches, new recycling technologies, new ideas about what we think fabric could become for a healthy and cleaner future. But despite all this, we all think that change isn't fast enough. And this is what has brought us at Imperial College to start working on these issues. So looking at the sustainability challenge in fashion, we're increasingly convinced that the biggest obstacles are not always scientific. Actually, they sit at the intersection of science, business, policy, design, and human behavior. Historically, universities have been structured around disciplines. So chemists work with chemists, engineers work with engineers, economists work with economists. So that model has produced extraordinary discoveries, but many of today's challenges, they don't come neatly wrapped within disciplinary boundaries. At times where science itself is often challenged in the public debate, it's even more important than ever that academics can demonstrate not only that they can generate knowledge, but also that we can help deliver real-world solutions. So fashion is a good example. A new fiber may be technically brilliant, but if it cannot be manufactured at scale, financed, integrated into supply chains, adopted by brands and by consumers, its impact will remain limited. The same with a recycling technology. It may work perfectly well in a laboratory, but if the economics don't work, or if regulation is absent, or if the collection systems are inadequate, then it may never deliver the real benefit it can have for society. So one of the many things that you will know from working on sustainability or climate is that ideas and breakthroughs rarely fail because they are not a good idea. More often, they fail because they don't manage to reach a path into the real world. So the challenge isn't only innovation, but it's also integration. And this is what we propose at Imperial, is to use a new approach called Convergence science. So we've created the School of Convergence Science around a simple idea. Instead of starting with disciplines and asking what problems they can solve, let's start with the problem and ask which disciplines are needed to come together and solve it. In particular, sustainability is not only an environmental challenge. Decisions we make about fibers, chemicals, and production processes don't only affect the clothes we wear, but also the health of workers and consumers, the land that produces our raw materials, and increasingly the wider systems that connect fashion with food, cosmetics, and other industries. So if we want solutions to move beyond pilots and demonstrations, all of those perspectives need to be part of the conversation from the beginning, rather as an afterthought. That thinking sits behind our mission on the future of textiles and fashion. Our scientists at Imperial are working to create the next protein that will generate fibers. They are transforming textile waste into electric batteries. They're exploring new cotton farming practices. These are important stepping stones, but what interests us equally is what happens around these innovations. How do we make sustainable materials desirable rather than merely acceptable? How do we ensure finance reaches the companies that are trying to do the right thing? How do we ensure that genuinely beneficial innovations do not remain trapped in laboratories simply because the incentives to invest are misaligned. How do we build supply chains that are both resilient and sustainable? And how do we make sure that the people who are most affected by these transitions are part of the solutions in shaping them? These questions require scientists, designers, behavioral researchers, policymakers, and entrepreneurs and industry leaders to work together to, not in isolation, but co-developing solutions for the benefit of all. The future of fashion certainly requires scientific breakthroughs, but it will also require something else, a much stronger convergence. So let me leave you with a question. We all here today, we want change. But look around you. Who's missing from this room to bring change? And maybe another question. The fabric system involves many interconnected components. So if you were given $1 billion, how would you spend it? And what part of that system would it unlock? Thank you very much.